Welcome students. Let us learn about the natural realms of the earth lithosphere. This is the second chapter in the ninth class. People who study the earth scientists usually talk of four realms on the earth. Realms are areas which have some common features. These are lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. You have read much about many of these in earlier classes, but in this chapter we will see some broad features of these spheres or realms and how they are interrelated and how human and also how human beings interact with them. So, realms, which is the lithosphere, it is the solid crust or the hard top part of earth. It is made up of rocks and minerals and covered with a thick layer of soil. It is not a smooth surface as you see on the globe, but has high mountains, plateaus or highlands, low plains, deep valleys and very deep basins which are filled with water. Many of these features are shaped by wind and water. Portions of the crust in the form of dust etc. are mingled with air too. When the lithosphere heats up due to sun rays or cools down, it influences air and water too. We and most other living beings live on this realm. We use the rocks and soils and other things found on this hard crust in many ways. So, here I have read the paragraph of lithosphere. Please pause the video and just read it one more time and understand what the paragraph means. This is what we do in Telangana. We gradually have a continuous evaluation of the students. As we can't have that through our online classes, it is better for us to uh, act like we are in the class. So, as you might see in the sentence, how does the lithosphere get influenced by wind and water? As you can see, in places like Egypt, you have a huge statue of Pharaoh. So his nose actually got bombarded with small sand particles during a sandstorm, or the wind would gradually take along the small sand particles and hit through a wall or a solid surface, and it would gradually shape out the entire statue. So it's curved out that nose because of continuous bombardment of this sand. That's how wind is also a key influential in the formation of lithosphere. So we already know that earth surface cools down and heats up very quickly. This phenomena creates a influence on the climate on of that specific area. You can see if the wind goes from high pressure area to low pressure area. We already know, and this is the mantra we should always remember, is that when the temperature increases, the pressure decreases, the atmospheric pressure decreases. When the temperature increases, the atmospheric pressure decreases, because the hotter the molecules get of that place, particles will start becoming lighter and start going up into that atmosphere. So I'm going a little away from the topic. So this phenomena of pressure deviations and temperature deviations, the wind would go from one area to another area depending upon the pressure variations. So lithosphere is also a influential factor in the wind movement as well. Water also plays a very crucial role in lithosphere, on shaping out the lithosphere. Let me explain. If you go to a waterfall, or you see a beach, or you go to a place which is influenced with water a lot, you can see how water carves out a rock or smoothens out a rock. If you go to a beach, you will find pebbles which are actually hit by the water on and on for thousands and thousands of millions of years, carving out the shell and outermost layer of the rock, making it very smooth. If you go to the beach and find a rock over there, you can see that what the rock has been sculptured by the water, and this causes erosion, and thus sand is formed. The sand is actually a result of water reacting to the solid surface of a rock, just chipping a small particle every minute and every second, thus creating sand. That's how inflation that is. That's how influential water. You can find that portions of this crust is also in the form of dust. Whenever you see a sunset and the sky turns orange in color, it is because the dust particles of the lithosphere gradually went into that area and the atmosphere and changed the color of the sky during sunset, because the sun rays are actually pointing towards the its toppermost area. But if the sun rays is directly on the earth's surface, because the most of our earth is filled with water and which is blue in color, that is why the sky is in blue in color. That is Raman effect. At the same time, when dust of on the lithosphere, when it goes into the atmosphere, when the angle of incidence of the sun changes, the automatically the sky becomes orange in color. Very interesting point anyway. When the lithosphere heats up due to sun rays or cools down, it influences air and water too. We discussed about that. That is because of air pressure. It is because of a wind going from one area to another area. Because of atmosphere, it changes. And we discussed the mantra. The mantra is, when temperature increases, the pressure decreases. When temperature decreases, atmospheric pressure increases. We and most of our living beings live on this realm. We already know. We live on this realm. We can't live on underwater. Can we live underwater? No. Can we fly and live on the cloud? No. No animal lives like that. But this is the only place where we can live happily. That's what we thought. Anyway, scientists nowadays are learning more about lithosphere, trying to go deeper into lithosphere. And interesting fact is that as Indians population is increasing day by day, the only way to construct new homes is underground, because the crust is very thin. And in the coming lessons, we'll be discussing more about how thick the crust is, how thick magnum is, how thick outer crust and inner core is. And keep being curious. Next video we'll be discussing about hydrosphere. So thank you and have a nice day.